Okay, hi, welcome to this latest webinar that we are running on the post-furlough leave period. It seems incredible that we've only just started furloughing people. The web portal only opened on Monday, but it's now imperative that having got your claim in, furloughed your staff, that you now start looking at the post-furlough period, because we have no idea, we have no guidance yet on how that will happen, when that will happen, and so it's important that you look at role-playing various scenarios so that you can react as you need to. In this webinar, we are going to cover those employees who have less than 2 years service. Let me get up my slides for you. There we are. So employees with less than 2 years service do not have protection from unfair dismissal. They have no right to a redundancy payment, and so they are likely to be the key candidates for redundancy, or the key people you're looking to move on in the event that you need to restructure your business. And that's for obvious reasons. If there are cash difficulties, that's why you're doing this. The less cash you have to spend on these individuals in terms of payments, redundancy pay, notice pay, and the like, the better. And of course, having been with you for a shorter period of time, there is less of a relationship there. They're not so ingrained in the business. However, it is important to always reflect on the skills that you need. Okay, they may have less than 2 years service, but if they are one of the core people, the key individuals who have the key skills that you need to operate your business going forward, there is no point in making them redundant, because you need them going forward. It's very simple. And okay, you might get a small cash saving immediately, but what longer term damage do you do to your business? So these individuals should be front and center of your considerations if you are looking to lose some people, but it's not, and it shouldn't be a default option for you. It needs some thinking about what are the skills required, what's going to happen over the course of the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months of your business. Having said that they don't have protection from unfair dismissal, they do still have some legal protections, and I've highlighted the 3 key ones that are likely to pop up here. The first one is that they have the right not to be discriminated against. So pregnant ladies, discrimination based on race, things like that. Also, those who have whistleblown. There is going to be a temptation whilst you're going through this process for those who have been troublemakers in the past, who have highlighted issues and problems within the business, maybe unlawful or illegal practice. Those who have whistleblown have protection, even though they may have less than 2 years service. So this is not an opportunity to get even or get your own back, at least not in so obvious a fashion. And sort of tied into that whistleblowing is those who raise concerns about health and safety at work, and the risk to their health and well-being, particularly of coronavirus. They're uncomfortable coming into the office, they're uncomfortable getting on the train. Why can't I work from home? Individuals who have raised legitimate and genuine concerns can also have protection, even though they don't have their 2 years service. But those people are limited in scope, they are limited in number. It's just points to be aware of, so that you don't find yourself falling foul. The key date then in any dismissal for someone with less than 2 years service, it's not actually 2 years service, it's the 2 years service less 1 week, because that 1 week takes into account the statutory minimum notice period that is required. Our advice would be to make sure you always look to dismiss anyone with less than 2 years service who you want to make redundant at 2 years less 1 month, because that gives you a few days if you come down sick or what have you. You've got a small window there of further opportunity. It's important that length of service continues throughout the period of furlough. The whole point of furlough leave is that individuals remain your employees, and so their length of service will continue. So it is vitally important that you know what those dates are, so that you can act. Now, you don't necessarily, you can act straight away, but you don't necessarily have to act straight away. You can leave them on furlough until that 2-year threshold sort of homes into view, and keep paying them the 80% for as long as you can, but don't let it cross over that threshold unless you mean it to. For those who have been employed for less than 2 years, as I say, they have no right to redundancy payment. Generally speaking, they have the right to their salary to the final day of employment, and that may well be furlough pay. They have a right to their notice pay, and they have a right to accrued but untaken holiday. There is no right to redundancy pay. There may be some further entitlements under their employment contract, benefits, things like that. So it's worth double checking that, but those are the key entitlements. So finally then, is a dismissal letter required? Well, technically, no. There is no right to a written record of dismissal if you've got less than 2 years service. However, it is still best practice. It avoids any argument of, well, you only did this because of my race, you only did this because of my sex or because I'm pregnant, etc. If you don't put anything at all, you allow the employee to bring their own potential reasons into the equation. By setting out an explanation that this is a redundancy because of the coronavirus, it's to stop you from getting 2 years service, at which point you get protection from unfair dismissal. They may be rather unhappy about the reasons that you give, but those are perfectly legitimate reasons, and particularly if you're doing it for a number of employees, it's worth looking at. So would strongly recommend that you do that. So that's a very short whistle-stop tour through. Those with less than 2 years service have a very limited number of rights and are very vulnerable to potentially being made redundant, and they should be the first candidates you're looking at when it comes to making redundancies and restructuring, because the cash position, the amounts that will be paid to them are limited. But that should not be an absolute point, and you do need to consider your skill sets. You do need to look at what extra considerations you have, what your clients will need, what your customers will need going forward, and try and second guess those as much as you possibly can at this point. So if I hope you found this useful. If you've got any questions, any concerns, or need any further information, you'll see my details on screen. Please do get in touch. Thank you very much.